Welcome back to the Sock Sorority, Crows Edition. I'm your host, Cricket Fox, and I am so excited to share my experience from the season launch with you all. It was such a highlight to spend time with Alex Neil-Bullen and Tex Walker. Seeing the big man entering his 19th season alongside Alex, who is bringing that premiership energy from Melbourne, you can just feel the leadership in this squad. Today, we're talking about that leadership and what it means for the Crows in 2026. Grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's get into it.
You know that specific feeling right before a new sports season kicks off.
Yeah.
It's universal. Doesn't matter if you're in the nosebleeds of the corporate box. There's that crispness in the air. The slate is clean.
Everyone is undefeated.
Exactly. No one has lost a game yet. Everyone's a champion in theory. It's just, well, pure potential.
It is the season of eternal optimism, the this is our year phase.
Right.
But it's also a dangerous time for analysis because usually that optimism is based on absolutely nothing but hope.
Right.
We just project what we want to see onto the team before they've even kicked a ball in anger.
Exactly. And that is where we are starting today. We are taking a deep dive into the upcoming 2026 season for the Adelaide Crows. But, and here's the kicker, we aren't looking at the stat sheets today.
No spreadsheets.
No spreadsheets. We aren't looking at draft picks or salary cap numbers.
Which is usually where the conversation starts and ends in modern sports coverage. It is so data-driven. We treat players like assets and games like, I don't know, math equations.
And try to solve the season before it even starts.
Yeah.
Right. But today we are pivoting. We are looking at the heart of the club. Our source material today is a fantastic, deeply personal blog post titled A New Season, A New Perspective. It's written by Cricket Fox from the 19th Floor blog.
Yeah.
If you're a fan, you probably know her from her series, Corner Coffee with Cricket.
And what stands out immediately about this piece, and why I think it's just a perfect source for a deep dive, is the explicit shift in tone.
You can feel it right away.
Cricket states she is moving away from just being a reporter. She's throwing away the press past neutrality and writing as a fan who, in her words, bleeds navy blue, red, and gold.
I love that. She's saying, no, I'm in this. The source material centers around the recent season launch at the Drive. And honestly, the way she describes it, there's a very different energy buzzing around the club this year.
I got that too.
But before we get carried away with the vibes, I want to ask you, is good energy actually a leading indicator of success? Or is it just preseason fluff?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Every team looks happy in February, but Cricket notes a specific detail right at the start that I think moves this from fluff to evidence.
Okay, what's that?
She mentions that when the new kids, the rookies, were due to report on day one, the whole team showed up.
Okay, let's unpack that, because usually the veterans, they trickle in later, right? They've done their time, they take the extra week of vacation.
Precisely. In the AFL, the Players Association actually mandates that veterans can take that extra time. It's their right.
It's in the contract.
It is. They are allowed to be sitting on a beach while the 18-year-olds are running laps. So for the entire squad to waive that entitlement and show up to welcome the new blood, that is significant.
It's a choice. And that seems to be the operative word here.
It's a massive signal of cultural unity. In organizational psychology, we talk about buy-in. You can't mandate buy-in.
Right.
If you force the seniors to come in, they'll resent it. If they're there, it's because they want to be. It signals that the separation between the stars and the rookies is dissolving.
So they're building a cohesive unit before a ball has even been bounced.
That's it. It creates this all-for-one mentality immediately.
It's interesting you mentioned the dissolve between stars and rookies, because Cricket Fox spends a lot of time in this post focusing on a specific player who seems to embody that bridge, Alex Neil-Bullen.
Yes, this was a fascinating section.
So Cricket went into the launch with a mission to meet Alex. She says she chooses a player to champion every season, which is such a fun tradition, by the way.
It is, yeah.
And she picked Alex because of his talent and dedication. But here is the context we need to clarify for you. Alex is entering his second season with the Crows, just his second. And yet,
He is already in a vice-captaincy role.
that is fast. Is that normal?
It's incredibly fast. Usually, leadership groups are reserved for players who have been within that club's ecosystem for years, guys who have earned their stripes in that specific jumper.
You got to serve your time.
You do. You have to learn the club song, be part of the furniture before you get the title. For Neil-Bullen to step into a vice-captain role in his second season, Well, it tells you two things. One, his personal leadership qualities must be off the charts.
Sure.
But two, it shows the club is prioritizing character and influence over just seniority.
They aren't waiting for him to serve his time. They're using his value now.
Exactly. And when Cricket spoke to him, he didn't just talk about his own game. He pointed out something that I think is the aha moment for the team's tactical future. He told her there is a powerful shift happening.
I highlighted this part too. Neil Bullen noted that it isn't necessarily the veterans driving the standards right now. He specifically named the younger group. He mentioned guys like Josh Richell and Riley Thilthorpe. He said they are the ones driving the standards.
Think about the structural implication of that. You have a vice captain, someone in a leadership role, deferring credit to the younger players.
Right.
He isn't saying, I'm whipping them into shape. He's saying, they are pushing us.
It's a bottom-up pressure.
Which is the holy grail of high-performance culture. If the coach has to drive the standard, the team fails when the coach isn't looking. If the captain has to, the team fails when he's injured. But if 22-year-olds Richell and Thilthorpe are the hardest workers in the room,
that pulls everyone else up.
It prevents complacency. If the kids are grinding, the veterans can't coast. They can't look at the guy 10 years younger than them and let him win the sprint.
It sounds like a generational handover happening in real time. We've been waiting for Richell and Thilthorpe to take that leap for a few seasons now.
We have.
Hearing a leader say they're driving the bus is different from hearing a commentator say they have potential.
Oh, it's the difference between potential and kinetic energy. It's happening now. And Cricket notes how exciting it is to see someone like Neil Bullen come in, embrace the club so quickly, and facilitate that.
It's almost like he's the translator. He's got the experience to speak to the coaches, but the energy to run with the kids.
That's a great way to put it. It's a very healthy ecosystem. You have the structural leadership in Neil Bullen recognizing and empowering the organic leadership of the younger players. That's a recipe for sustained success.
So structurally, we are looking good. We have the future covered with Neil Bullen, Richell, and Thilthorpe. But you can't talk about the Adelaide Crows without talking about the legacy.
No, you can't.
We have to talk about the king. We have to talk about Tex Walker.
The heart and soul. You simply cannot tell the story of this club without him.
Cricket describes him as the embodiment of the team. And get this. Tex is approaching his 19th season.
That longevity is just staggering.
Can we just pause on that? 19 seasons in the AFL? That is a contact sport.
It is a collision sport. It's not golf. The average AFL career is something like, 4 years?
Right.
To maintain your body, your motivation, your mental edge for 19 seasons is a statistical anomaly. It puts him in the realm of the absolute greats.
And Cricket says the fire and passion are still burning bright. He's not just hanging on for a paycheck. He's still bringing that intensity. But my favorite part of this section wasn't about his football ability or his goal kicking.
No.
It was the personal touch. Cricket mentions that every time Tex sees her, he calls her Cricket Fox.
It's a small detail, but it matters so much.
It really does. She says, I still can't get over that he remembers me.
Yeah.
Here is this superstar athlete, 19 seasons in, probably meets thousands of people, sponsors, media. But he knows the blogger from the 19th floor by name.
It speaks to emotional intelligence. We often treat athletes as machines output generators for our entertainment.
Yeah.
We expect them to perform and then disappear. But a player like Tex, who has been the face of a franchise for nearly 2 decades, understands that his role extends beyond the boundary line. Acknowledging a reporter, a fan, by name, it creates a connection that stats can't measure. It turns a follower into a believer.
And it sets up the relationship they have. They sat down to talk about the season, and the dynamic shifted from player reporter to almost a mentorship discussion. Tex talked about how excited he is to mentor those younger players we just mentioned.
Which closes the loop on the leadership discussion.
Yeah.
You have the youth driving standards, Neil Bullen facilitating, and Tex the veteran mentoring. It's a complete ecosystem.
Right.
You don't want Tex trying to be the fastest guy on the track anymore. You want him teaching Richell how to use his speed. You want him transferring that 19 years of IP into the next generation.
It's about optimizing his wisdom. But then the conversation took a turn. And this is the part of the deep dive where we really need to slow down a bit.
Yeah.
Because this next part of the source material, it hit me hard. It stops being about football entirely.
It is the emotional core of the entire piece. And frankly, it's the reason this blog post stands out from a standard sports reporting. It goes somewhere most match reports never dare to go.
So they're chatting, catching up at the launch. And Tex, with what Cricket describes as a glint of curiosity, asks her a question. He asks, "Where's Phil?"
And for context for you, we need to explain who Phil is. Phil was Cricket's husband. And as the blog notes, Phil was a fan of Tex from day one, week one. He wasn't just a casual observer, he was a diehard.
He was part of the fabric of the stand. Imagine that scenario. You're sitting with your hero, the guy your husband cheered for every weekend, and he asks about your husband because he notices he isn't there.
He remembers Phil. He realizes the duo is missing one half. It's a moment of incredible validation. It proves that the fans aren't just invisible to the players.
But it's also a moment of incredible pain. Because Cricket, she had to deliver some devastating news. She had to tell Tex that Phil passed away in December 2024.
The vulnerability in that moment is just profound. Think about the setting. You're at a season launch, it's loud, it's celebratory, there's music, sponsors shaking hands, and suddenly in this little pocket of conversation, the world just stops.
And you have a moment of genuine human tragedy and connection. Cricket describes Tex's reaction as genuine shock. He had no idea. But then, and this is what impressed me, instead of it being awkward.
Yeah, he didn't rush off.
No, he didn't mutter sorry and try to get to the next interview. The conversation just drifted. They stayed in it. They started talking about Phil. They shared memories.
This is what stuck out to me as well. They didn't just mourn, they celebrated him. They even shared a laugh about an inside joke Phil had.
Yes, the kicking through the middle joke.
Kicking through the middle. It's such a specific fan-centric thing to say.
It's those little specific things that keep a memory alive. If you're a sports fan, you know those phrases your dad or your partner always yells at the TV?
Of course.
Sharing that with the player, that is special.
It is. And Cricket says something very powerful about this interaction. She says meeting with Tex and having that specific conversation helped her find closure.
Closure. From a football player. That's a heavy word.
Well, see, this is where we have to challenge our assumptions about what sports actually are. We think sports are about winning premierships. And sure, on the surface, they are. But at a deeper level, sports are about community. They're about shared experience.
It's the tribal campfire.
Exactly. Phil loved the club. He loved Tex. For Tex to stop, ask about him, express shock, and then share a laugh. That validates Phil's passion.
Right.
It validates the years he spent cheering. It tells Cricket he mattered to us too. He wasn't just a face in the crowd, we noticed.
It reinforces that theme Cricket started with, the heart of the club. It's not just a marketing slogan to sell memberships. When the star player stops to grieve with a fan, that is the literal heart of the club beating right there.
It completely justifies her decision to shift her perspective.
Right. The shift from reporter to fan.
If she were acting strictly as a journalist in that moment, she might have felt the professional need to keep that distance, to say, oh, he couldn't make it, and then ask about, preseason training loads.
Or the strategy for round one.
Right. But by embracing the fan identity, by admitting she bleeds navy blue, red, and gold, she allowed herself to have that human moment. She allowed herself to receive that comfort from Tex.
And she said she believes Phil would understand and appreciate that they're still cherishing those moments. It's beautiful. It really grounds the whole idea of fandom.
It really does.
It's not just about the jersey. It's about the people you watch the game with and the connection you feel to the people on the field.
And it serves as a reminder that the players are human beings, too. We forget that sometimes. We tweet at them, we critique them, we scream at the television.
We do.
But Tex Walker isn't just a goal-kicking machine. He's a guy who remembers names, who notices absences, and who asks, where's Phil?
Truly special stuff. And I think for Cricket, writing this down was probably a huge part of that healing process. But, as she says in the blog, life and footy go on.
It doesn't stop.
The season doesn't stop for grief. It rushes toward us.
Indeed. The calendar is relentless. We have to look at the immediate future.
Cricket mentions the schedule is heating up. By the time this deep dive reaches you, the preparations will be in full swing. She mentions the match sim coming up specifically.
Yes, against Port. Scheduled for next Friday, February 20.
A showdown match sim. Even if it's just practice, putting the Crows against Port Adelaide, that's going to have some heat in it.
It always does. You can call it a simulation, but when those two teams cross the white line, the intensity ratchets up. It's the perfect stress test for everything we discussed earlier.
You mean the leadership dynamics?
Exactly. This will be the first time we see Neil Bullen marshalling the troops in a Crows jersey against opposition. It's the first time we see if Richelle and Thilthorpe can drive the standards when a Port Adelaide defender is actually tackling them.
It's the proof of concept.
That's it. It's one thing to have good vibes at training. It's another to hold up under pressure against your biggest rival.
And Cricket notes that despite the sadness, despite the heavy emotional lifting she's had to do personally, her excitement for this is at an all-time high.
That's the resilience of the fan, isn't it?
She says she's writing now as a fan who has seen it all and still believes in the magic of the oval.
The magic of the oval. I think that phrase synthesizes everything we've discussed today.
What does that mean to you in the context of this source?
Well, the magic isn't just a miraculous goal from the boundary. It's not just winning. The magic is the unity of the rookies and veterans showing up on day one.
Okay.
The magic is the selflessness of the leadership structure. And the magic is Tex Walker taking a moment to remember a fan who has passed away. That connection, that ability to bind people together through joy and grief, that is the magic she is talking about.
It's the ecosystem of the club. It feels like, based on the source material, the Crows are entering 2026 with a very rare combination of factors.
Let's break down that recipe one last time.
Okay. Ingredient 1, the youth. We have Richelle and Phil Thorpe moving from talent to drivers of standards.
Check. That provides the engine.
Ingredient 2, the structure. We have Alex Neil Bullen providing that bridge leadership, proving you don't need 10 years at a club to lead it.
Check. That provides the direction.
Ingredient 3, the soul. Tex Walker, 19 seasons deep, still burning with fire, but evolving into a mentor who connects deeply with the community.
And the final ingredient, the fan base. Or rather, the emotional connection. The sense that everyone, from the rookie to the widow of a lifelong fan, is part of the same story.
It is a potent mix. Usually you have one or two of those things. You might have a great culture, but no young talent.
Right.
Or great talent, but a fractured culture.
Right.
To have the whole team show up on day one, to have these deep personal bonds, it suggests they're building something sustainable.
It creates a floor. Talent gives you a high ceiling and lets you win championships, but culture gives you a high floor. It prevents you from falling apart when things go wrong.
And this deep dive suggests the Crows are raising their floor significantly. So what does this all mean for you listening? If you're a Crows fan, obviously get hyped. The vibes are immaculate.
Yeah.
But even if you're not, even if you follow a different code or no sport at all, I think cricket's perspective is a lesson in how to engage with the things we love.
I agree. It's an invitation to look deeper. Don't just watch the scoreboard.
Right. Watch the interactions. Watch who runs over to high-five the rookie when he makes a mistake.
Watch who stays back to sign the autographs in the rain. Watch the body language during the breaks. That is where the actual narrative of the season lives. That is where you see the heart of the organization.
And maybe, like cricket, give yourself permission to stop trying to be an objective observer. We spend so much time trying to be rational about sports. Don't get your hopes up, we say.
But what is the point of that? Why do we watch if not to feel something?
Exactly. It's okay to care. It's okay to let it break your heart a little bit, and it's okay to let it heal you too. Cricket let the club heal her a little bit at that launch.
Well said. And that vulnerability is strength, not weakness.
We've covered a lot today. We've gone from the excitement of the new season smell to the tactical leadership changes with Alex Neil Bullen, and deep into the emotional closure with Tex Walker and the memory of Phil.
It's been a journey from the head to the heart, and I think that's the best kind of deep dive.
As we wrap up this look into Cricket Fox's A New Season, A New Perspective, we want to leave you with something to think about. We live in an era of high-performance analytics. Every step a player takes is tracked by GPS. Every kick is rated for efficiency.
Oh, we love our heat maps.
We do. We treat sports like a solved math equation. But here's the question. In the long run, over a 19-season career or the life of the club, is it the analytics that sustains the culture? Is it the GPS numbers that make a rookie feel welcome? Or is it the emotional intelligence, the simple act of showing up early or asking, "Where's Phil?" that actually keeps the club alive?
Can you measure heart on a spreadsheet? I don't think you can. But I think we know which one matters more when the final siren goes.
Something to mull over next time you're watching the game. Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive.
See you next time.
I have a massive calendar alert for my online family. If you're joining the flock at the MCG for Round 1 against Collingwood, you need to be ready this Tuesday. Club member tickets go on sale Tuesday, February 17th at 10 a.m. For those who need it, use the accessible filter on Ticketek to find wheelchair bays or easy access seats with fewer stairs. Have your barcodes ready and your account logged in. After last year's minor premiership, these seats will go fast. General public sales open Wednesday morning if you miss out. It's going to be a huge year with Alex and Tex leading the charge. Keep your coffee warm and your crow's colors flying. Thanks for listening to the Sock Sorority. We'll talk again soon.